Welcome back to Stutter Chats. As today we have a special guest. His name is Coach Kenny Gajewski. Am I saying that correctly?
Gajewski.
Um, Coach Kenny Gajewski. I think
Perfect.
I said it better. All right.
Yeah, you can
He's
call
the
me. You can call me Coach G. That's way easier.
All right, Coach G. I appreciate that.
All right.
He's the head coach of the Oklahoma State softball team. He has led them to many appearances at the College World Series, and recently he just got his 400 career win. So a big congrats on that, Coach. But
Thank you.
I appreciate you having your time today to join us today. Um, um, we're ready to dig into your life, into your journey, and how you became who you are today, man.
That sounds great.
Awesome. Yeah. So the first question, Coach. First question: when did you notice that you have a stutter, and how did that drew you to becoming a coach?
Oh man, I would tell you, I don't know that my stutter drew me to become a coach. To be very
Mm-hmm.
honest, it probably scared me away. To be very truthful,
Mm-hmm.
just going through what we go through, and
Mm-hmm.
the ridicule when you're younger, I think is really hard. I figured out I stuttered. I can remember back as far as, probably the fourth or fifth grade. And what really hurt me as a young kid and not being mature enough to really understand everything at that point was when I had to go to speech class, they took me out of recess. So that was the favorite part of my day because that's where I could be me. I was one of the best athletes, and I just had it was my place to not worry about the stutter and not worrying about what people thought of me because everybody wanted me on their team at that point, right? You guys are athletes. You guys know that as well. And so that was like my safe haven. So I used to get really upset the fact that I stuttered because they would take me out of my favorite part of my day. And I knew I wanted to get better, and I knew I wanted to figure out how to help it. And like all of us, I thought it would just go away. I just thought, oh, it's just something that's just here for a bit. And little did I know that it was here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And as I grew older and had a really good college baseball career, I wanted to be a coach, but I just was like, man, I don't know if I can get out in front of a team. And am I going to lose their respect? Am I going to lose their attention? Am I going to lose something that is so important about being a coach? And, my biggest fear about becoming a head coach was, especially at the level that we've got to now, is a lot of our games are on TV. Yeah. So in the middle of every game, I've got to do a live interview on ESPN. And I can tell you, it's the most fear I have in my life. I don't fear a whole lot, but I fear that interview. And if people, like when I explain that to people, if they could understand what's in my chest at that time and how tight my chest gets, and when I get blocked, it, like you guys know, it feels like an eternity, and it's just like the worst feeling ever. But, I'm going to give you a story about a guy named Mike Holder. He was the athletic director at Oklahoma State at the time. He's maybe the greatest golf coach of all time in college, for the greatest golf program ever in college. He's maybe the greatest fundraiser of all time. And when I got on my interview here at Oklahoma State, we got into the car and we were driving back to the school from the airport. And he said to me, he goes, "Hey, somebody told me that you stuttered." And he obviously knew. And I said, I do. And he goes, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that doesn't bother me."
That's awesome.
And right then at that moment, like, I'm getting emotional now because it like took the handcuffs off me, and it made me just be able to be me, the best version of me. And he just actually just talked to me about it. And and how I thought that could affect me. And I told him at that point, I said, I don't think it'll affect me. I think it'll help me. I think it'll actually endear me to my team. Because they're going to love me for who I am. I'm going to treat them the way they need to be treated. And so I don't know that the stutter ever drew me to be a coach, but it actually probably pushed me away for a while because I was worried about what it may look like.
Definitely, yeah. And just going and and you just being open with it, makes you draw. It draws you closer to your players. Your players see the true you.
Yeah.
If they see you hiding behind your voice, it will never be what you are today. So yeah,
Yeah. Agreed. I've always just taken this approach of, hey, I stutter. It ain't changing. I have really good days. Like I'm off to a pretty good start here, but in a moment's notice that could change. And you guys know that, you fight the same fight. And, man, I have this glass half full mentality. That's the way I've always been. It's the way I coach. That's the way I am each day. And I mean, you're either going to love me or you're not. And it's not going to be because I stutter. I've learned that at age 53 now. I've learned that people they don't like me or dislike me because I stutter. They like me because of who I am and how I treat them. And so I just try to give everybody my very best. And when I get stuck, I laugh at myself. I make fun of myself and it kind of makes everyone else laugh. And, my team, they could care less, to be honest.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Coach Kenny G. I thought about it. I say Kenny G. I say, man, Kenny G with the saxophone smooth. Coach, your energy is infectious, man. I appreciate that, man, because sometimes our personalities get suppressed because of this other, but your energy, I can see it. I can feel it. So I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna take you back to this post game interview because I was like, you know what? He mentioned something that was going to be alone, but how do you prep for those? You know what I mean? Those post games, do you or do you necessarily have your stats in front of you? Do you say it over and over? Like, how do you know?
That's a great question. I think the more I rehearse, the worse I do.
Okay.
And so I just, my post game interviews are actually the easiest ones. It's the in game ones that really get me. And I, in my mind, I don't know that like I ever answer the question maybe the way they've asked it because I'm just trying to get it out fluently. So a lot of times there's certain words as we all have that we get stuck on. Like I get stuck on my own name. Like I hate introducing myself. It is pure hell, man. Like I'm like, hey, like it feels like it takes me 20 seconds to say, hey, I'm Kenny Gajewski. I can't say, hey, I'm Kenny Gajewski because I'll stutter every time. So I got to say it like twice, like I'm Kenny and then take a breath, Gajewski. And when I do that, you know what? I've learned to slow myself down. My brain is working so fast. I want to get it all out and I've learned to just slow it down. Nobody even notices, when I slow down. They don't. I think they do, but I don't really think anyone does. And so, I just try to listen to what they say. And then as they're saying it, it's going through my mind. Okay. How do you want to answer that? And a lot of times, it's a problem because I don't know that I always hear exactly everything that they've asked me. I'm on a headset. There's a crowd. There's all kinds of stuff. A lot of times, if you go back and look at some of my interviews, I'm a very loose coach. Like I coach a very loose program. And so a lot of times my players are behind me doing funny things. And, and so that kind of helps me because I'll hear the announcer say, God, your team, I just love the way they are. They're behind you. And so that kind of relaxes me. And I think what that really is that's my team inherently knowing that, coach, we got your back here because they know this. They know that I don't like that. But it's part of my job. And I think it maybe in a weird way, it's them saying, we got you. And so, and if it's not, I'm just going to believe that, and that'll help me. You know what I mean? So, but I found that the more I rehearse, the worse I do. And so I just try to talk from my heart and answer it the best I can. But I think that would be my best answer.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Definitely just thinking about listening to the question and answer it, as well as many times like the different things that may be going on as we're talking, that some people can straight through it, but it's like, hey, I need a little bit of peace and quiet. But like you say, to be able
Yeah.
to find solace from your team, not only cheering you on with the little chants, but it's also saying, hey, it's encouraging you to say, hey, let me, instead of tense up, let me necessarily be a little bit loose. And that's when we know it can flow, when we're relaxed, when we're having fun, when we're laughing. So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
And
Awesome.
just to add to that, man, like I'm sure being a head coach, man, you have so much things going in your head, man. And the last thing you want to do is an in-game interview, is because you're focused on that game, and I'm sure that's why reason why your post interview is much better than your in-game interview, because you're just so focused on the game going on in front of you that you don't really think much of the in-game interview. But I just want to go. I still want to get into the whole communication and stuff like that. How's your coaching style? Because I recently had a football coach on one of our last interviews. When he raised his voice higher, it worked for him. He didn't stutter as much, but like, how does your communication style as a coach work with you and your teammates, with your players? How do your players adapt, or like, how do they support you, or how are they when it comes to that?
Yeah, I would say so. When you're coaching girls, you got to be careful. There's a big, if they don't trust you, you screaming at them has no value. No value. They will just turn off. I think guys, there's a lot of guys that love that. Like, oh yeah, this guy's behind me. Like he's in my face.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a lot of girls that's how they respond well. So I spend a lot of time earning trust, getting to know my kids, figuring out what's going on in their personal lives, that kind of stuff. But when I do raise my voice, I think I listened to your same interview. That was my buddy that reached out to me. And when he said that, I was like, I kind of have that same thing. When I raise my voice, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty fluent for the most part. I think when I get, when I'm at my worst, with my team is when I get very emotional, and that's me. I'm a very emotional guy. So when I'm arguing with an umpire, I'm terrible, man. I'm so bad. And it pisses me off to no end, because I want to tell them exactly how I feel and exactly how bad that they made this call. And I can't even get it out because I'm so pissed, you know? So that's kind of like my funniest thing. But look, I've just found that, if I can control my emotion, if I can control my breath, and I want to do that more. I'm really focused on my breath and just controlling that. When I can control that, I'm pretty good. I'm probably 80% fluent. When I've lost control of my breath and my heart's pumping, I'm a mess.
Yeah.
And you know, like I've seen these different stories about, you know, how could you couldn't be a quarterback if you stuttered, and couldn't do this stuff because you're making these calls and these reads and the clock's ticking and you're looking at the clock. You know, I'd love to be in that spot, because I want to, for me, that's part of the game. I want to beat that part of the game too. You know what I mean? And so again, that's me looking at this thing half full and not half empty. But I don't know. For me, it's like, I go through a couple days where my speech is just not very good. You know what I mean? And then 53 years now, I've got to this point where I'm like, take a deep breath. Everything is okay. It's just softball. It's just life. It's just a stutter. And I find that the more I go through those tough times, the better I can recover. I love to speak, guys. Like, I love it. Like, I crave it. I love to get in front of crowds. I have to do it a lot. I thought it would be my biggest fear. It's my favorite thing because it forces me to focus, and I'm not perfect in that, but I'm pretty good most of the time. And the worst part of me is that in-game deal. Like, it really is the hardest part of me because I know how many people are watching, and our society judges everything, no matter what, good or bad. It's not even that they're bad people. They just judge. We all judge. And so I'm just worried about that at times, but I'm getting better about not worrying what people think and just being me.
Yeah. And have you ever had a moment during your tenure as a head coach, had a moment where maybe the person interviewing you or had an issue with your stuttering or no?
Nobody's ever had an issue. As a matter of fact, I've had more people come to me afterwards and say, you're an inspiration to a lot of people. Like, the fact that you'll get on here, you never say no. You're always gonna say yes to any interview and all that stuff. And I look, like, I'm not going to shy away. I'll never say no. And so I've never had anybody have any issue. I've only had people say, it makes us really happy that you'll never shy away. You'll always run to an interview. Like, I'll get on the radio, I'll get on TV, I'll do the in-game stuff. I'll never turn it down. And
That's awesome.
there's really so many good people out there, right? And everybody's got demons or things that they fight. And I think the more you get around people that are willing to hit them head on, like you guys are in this, like, this makes me want to do it whenever, you know what I mean? Like, whatever I need to do to help is what I want to do.
I got a question for you, Coach. Because I got another question. What would you tell at the age of 53? Because I'm 38, and Matt is, and also Mr. Lee. What would you tell somebody coming up? You have the wisdom, and we're still like learning this thing. What would you tell somebody in this journey?
Well, first off, I will tell both of you, you guys are inspiring me. The fact that you would get on this and do this, like, that's the inspiration here. When I saw this podcast, I was like, man, if they ever ask me, I'll fire back a yes as fast as it gets to me. Because this is what it is. You're not doing this for everybody else. You may think you guys are, but you're actually doing it for you too. And you need to do that you need to be a little selfish here. You need to be thinking about you. And then, but with you guys being you and doing this for yourselves and bringing light to all of us who stutter, I think what it does is it helps bring light to the fact that we can do anything that we want to do. This isn't a handicap. This is not a handicap. This is actually a gift. It's our gift. And I think I want to tell both of you guys, this is a gift, guys. Like, this is a gift. Like, you guys have been given a gift by God, whoever you believe in. And your gift could be a lot worse. I'm just telling you. You guys know that. You see people that are handicapped and they can't walk or don't have a limb, or, I mean, that's real. Like, we just have a hard time getting words out at times, right? But we're still beautiful people. We still function. We can do anything. It just takes us a little longer to talk. So the wisdom, or I don't know if it's wisdom, but the advice I could give you guys is keep plugging, man. Keep plugging away and keep fighting the fight, because you're going to have to fight it your whole life. But I think when you can figure out in your mind that this is not a detriment. This is a gift. And that's the way I look at it to everybody. This is the gift that I was given. And I'm learning that at age 53 because I have people that email me routinely. Hey, I saw this interview. It just amazes me that you'll speak about your stuttering, or you'll do all of these shows, or you'll do any of this kind of stuff. Will you speak to this person I know? Or will you speak to this, my nephew that stutters and, he's an elite baseball player and he's worried about being recruited because he stutters. And I'm like, I'll speak to anyone at any time. So I just, my advice would be keep doing what you guys are doing here. Keep building your army. You got a new fan here. You got somebody here that'll help you guys at any time, any way I can. I would just say, just stay involved and stay out in the public and keep making people aware of who we are, because we're special.
Beautiful. Appreciate that, Coach. Appreciate that, Coach.
Yeah.
Got another question for you, man. Listen, Coach, don't you make me cry on here. Don't you make me cry. So if a person, say for instance, that they stutter and they want to be a coach and they're kind of nervous about entering into that realm, uh, what's some tips that you can give them, I guess, necessarily to go into it? You know what I mean?
Well, I would just tell you that, man, if you want to coach, get out there, put yourself out there, get yourself out in the open and just put your name out there. Don't worry about your stutter. I mean, listen, if somebody's not going to hire you because you stutter, you do not want to be in that program. That is a bad place with bad people. I'm telling you, the empowerment that I felt when Oklahoma State hired me, knowing that I stutter, knowing that I have to be in the public, man, it's why I'm so loyal to Oklahoma State. And I've had opportunities to leave here like you don't even know. More money, more bigger conferences, what people think are bigger conferences. And I stay here because, at this point, I stay here because they gave me this start and they believe in me, right? And that place is out there for you as well. And those people are out there. This has nothing to do with the fact that you stutter. It has to do, can you coach? Can you motivate? Can you lead? Can you be an example? And if you can do all those things, you can coach. Doesn't matter if you stutter. Doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, you're Asian, I don't care what it is. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we are good people, and it's still about what you know and how you treat people. And if you will keep treating people right and you can coach, you got a place. There's multiple spots. And so, that's probably something that we could keep talking about, even off this podcast, about things that you're running into or things that you're worried about. But, man, I don't think it has anything to do with your stuttering or somebody's stuttering. If it's not you, it's somebody else. Like, if you want to coach, go be a dang coach.
So appreciate that, Coach.
Sir.
Definitely appreciate that, because, like I said, once we apply ourselves to certain jobs and they like, hey, this is what they need, but in the words that you saying, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it, and the right opportunity will open itself up for you. Not every opportunity is the right one for you, but that right opportunity will be the. So appreciate that, Coach. Man.
Yeah, and that right opportunity is out there. I'm telling you,
Sure.
It's out there, and I think you just keep plugging away and find the right people. And man, I'll if it's you or somebody else, anything I can do to help, I'm all in.
Appreciate that, Coach.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. But Coach, I usually are. I just wanna give you a big thanks, man. You're a great inspiration to the community, man. I learned about you through Rob.
Yeah.
Our friend Coach Rob. He's an amazing guy too. I met him recently up in Denver. Super cool guy. He told me about you, and I was like, yes, I need to get this guy because I'm big on sports. I used to be a baseball coach. I played baseball. I played football and all that stuff. And Brandon also was an athlete himself. So, like, the funny thing, because a lot of our interviews have been sports based people. That's the funny thing about it. And I wasn't looking for anything about sports on this podcast. it was more about just learning people's journey on who they became, who they are. But Kenny, I want to take the time to appreciate you, man, and keep doing what you're doing. Oklahoma has a great coach in you, and I know you've been there for many, many years. But I want you to keep doing it. Keep being an inspiration to all those girls and the people that do stutter, man. All right, Ken?
I appreciate that, and I appreciate what you guys are up to, and it's really cool. It's really really cool. I watched Coach Rob's podcast twice, and I was like, man, this is so cool. Like this is,
Yeah.
I was proud of him, man. I was proud of him for getting on there and telling his story, because I think we need to tell this story, and we need to tell it more. And it's a wild ride, and but man, I wouldn't change it. I'm just being honest. Like, I love who I am, and it's taken me a while to get there. I haven't always felt like that. I'll be honest, but I think the more we can tell this story, the more that we can share with people that, hey, I didn't always love who I was. Now it wasn't bad, but like, man, I always used to complain, man, why do I stutter? I wish I didn't. And it's like, I mean, at what point in time are you just going to kind of go, okay, this is who I am, and I got to find the way to get through it all. So, I appreciate it a bunch, guys.
And it's not going anywhere. Just know that you're stuttering. It's not going anywhere. It's staying there.
It's here to stay, man.
Here to
It's
stay,
here to stay.
So you adapt, adjust, and figure it out. But Kenny, appreciate you, man.
Coach Kenny, appreciate
you guys got it. You guys have a great day.